Welcome back. In this lecture, we will look at another application of the mass formula derived via the liquid drop model. We will look at certain aspects of beta decay. What has been found via experiments is that if you take a set of isobars, that is a bunch of nuclei which have the same atomic weight, the binding energy of these nuclei show a parabolic dependence with respect to the atomic number Z. So if the model is one of the questions here is the model good enough to reproduce this dependence? So how do you go about doing this? We have a formula for binding energy. This is what was derived via the liquid drop model. And then from this binding energy as a function of A and Z, we can get to the mass of any particular nucleus. Here we are looking at isobar, so you keep A a constant and then vary Z. If you put these two things together, what you would get is that you would get a formula like this, this elaborated here. And these constants expressions have been derived in different ways in different books. For example, in this book, this is given, and there are different ways of expressing these constants. But what is important to understand is they have consistent units. They have units of energy or mass, which is one and the same. And the important thing is that you have a quadratic dependence with respect to Z. So when you have such a dependence, you can differentiate with respect to Z to get an extrema, in this case, a minima, and you get this formula. With this, you can also get an expression for amongst the isobars, which atomic number would have the least energy. That's what this entails. When you differentiate with respect to Z and then equate it to 0, what you are asking is amongst all these isobars, what is the minimum? So this is the, and all these things, these constants beta, gamma can be obtained. Okay, so this is all a function of known quantities. We can get these things just from the model equations. So when you do that, this is the prediction. For example, you have a bunch of isobars here. So the isobar, all the nuclei considered here have an atomic weight of 157. So you have a series of elements of different atomic number, but the same atomic weight. So when you do that, what is the prediction? There is a prediction based on the model. And what you see from experiments is that in whichever um, um, atomic number you take amongst these nuclei, they all decay to this. This is the element that has the least energy or the least mass, again, which are one and the same. And the way to get to this particular element is via a beta minus decay or a beta plus decay. So what the theory predicts is that there is a minima, and based on the known constants within the model, you can get to the minima. So there is a good comparison between the minima that is obtained via the model, that is using this formula, and what is observed experimentally. So this model is powerful enough to predict the most stable atomic number within a bunch of isobars. So here, this isobar is an odd number. So either you have an even neutron and an odd number of proton, or uh, even proton and odd number of neutron. So one of these two conditions are valid, and there's a good agreement between model prediction and experimental observation. You can consider another scenario wherein you have even isobar. So here the atomic weight is 156. If in this case you can have two different scenario, you can have an even atomic weight in two ways. One is that you can have even configuration, that is, you have even number of neutrons and even number of protons, or you can have odd configuration, that is, odd number of neutrons and odd number of protons. So from the previous lectures, you would anticipate that if you have an odd number of odd configuration, that would the mass parabolas would be higher in energy compared to the parabola. This parabola, this refers to this parabola. So as you can see, the even configuration has lower energy compared to odd configuration. So again, in this, there are supposing these elements of different atomic number will decay to this. Likewise, these will decay to this. So one in between has two options for decay. Either it can decay to this element or to this element. And the model not only gives these prediction, gets these observations correctly, it also predicts the difference in masses between these two parabolas. This is 2 delta, where delta is the pairing energy that was introduced in one of the previous lectures when we built the model. So if you start with these set of elements, you get to this element here. If you start with these set of elements, you get to this particular element. And this particular element can either go via beta plus decay to this element, or if there's a beta minus decay, it will go to this element, because this is higher in energy compared to both these elements. So the model gets this prediction, this set of observations also correctly. So there is this model, which the liquid drop model has a lot of useful observations. I mean, it can get many of the experimental observations correctly. So it is a credible model worth looking at carefully. So in the next lecture, we will use the model to look at another important observation. Why are some elements stable against alpha decay, and why are some elements spontaneously fission and some others do not? That'll be taken up in the next lecture. Thank you.